Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So for today's video I wanted to do something a little bit different than a makeup tutorial or like my beauty favorites. So basically I wanted to speak about something that I've personally experienced and just wanted to give really like my feedback and what I found that helped me. I feel like there's a lot of girls out there that don't know a lot about the pill. They don't know like how to deal with stress and anxiety. Basically I've always been a very happy going child. Like I've never been nervous or that like not confident or like self-conscious, but in about year 11 I experienced a little bit of anxiety where it just came out of absolutely nowhere. And it's obviously normal, everybody feels nervous, everybody gets anxiety, like it's a normal way of life. It's the way our bodies like react to protect ourselves in like a situation where we don't know what to do. So that's like all good, like obviously everybody gets nervous, whatever. But when it's like anxiety where you don't know where it's coming from, like naturally you're nervous for an exam or like a first date or something like that, that's understandable. But when you're like in a happy like positive frame and the next minute this like feeling of anxiety dawns on you and you just feel super nervous, like the walls are like closing in and you just feel like, oh my gosh, like, you know, so uncomfortable, almost like you don't actually know what to do with yourself, then I think it becomes a bit of a problem, because then you don't know like what to do in that situation. And I never knew that feeling until it actually happened to me, like I said, in year 11. I don't know what brought it on, but I remember missing quite a few weeks of school. I was very ill. I just became like really sick and we couldn't come up with why, like what was the reason, why was I feeling this way. So naturally you go to the doctor, because I mean we trust our doctors, you know, they are the people we rely on to sort of solve the problem and give us a conclusion as to like what's wrong. So I ended up going to the doctor and they really couldn't pick up anything. I think that made me more nervous than I come to, because I thought, oh, is there something wrong with me? And basically they just put me on something to calm me down, you know, get my emotions back on track and that sort of thing. And that's all well and merry until it happened again, and then it's back to the doctor again for another prescription and another prescription, then another prescription, and you're constantly just going back for repetitive like cycles on and on and on. That's not really helping. And I think that's where I started to get frustrated, because I was like, well, this is not helping anymore. I need a long-term fix. And so then I started to research and I wanted to figure out, you know, what is this anxiety thing, you know, type of thing. And then I started to realize every time I was getting nervous or anxious, it was usually around the time that I was getting my period. So I thought, okay, hormones, that sort of thing. And then I started reading about like hormonal imbalances. And so then I went on the pill, and because I wasn't obviously getting regular periods and that sort of thing since I began my period when I was younger, and I always got told by my doctor, no, that's fine that you don't get your period, because when you do get your period, it's just basically your body preparing itself for pregnancy, because it's ovulating. So I was like, okay, that makes sense, I'll just go with that conclusion type of thing. But it's really healthy for you to have a period every month, and it's very important. So in my research I came across a book called, I will show you what it's called. It's called The Period Repair Manual, and it's basically written by a naturopath in Sydney. And I'm so glad I came across this book, because it changed everything. So it looks like that, The Period Repair Manual. You can download this digitally, or I think you can like order it online if you prefer a hard copy. And basically this naturopath named Laura, that's her book, was speaking about hormones and the pill and all that sort of thing. And because with my anxiety it wasn't getting fixed, and I was on the pill to regulate my hormones, but I was still feeling like anxious sometimes and that sort of thing, I was like, okay, no, maybe, you know, there's a reason why I've come across this book, let me read it. So this book is purely focused on girls' hormones, the way our bodies work, what each sign means, like the cramping or a missed period, or, you know, this, that, all those sort of things. So I started to read, And before I came across her book, I got diagnosed by my doctor a year ago that I've got polycystic syndrome. It's when you've got like little cysts almost all over your ovaries. It's a pretty common thing that a lot of people have. And I thought, okay, well, that must be like the trigger of my anxiety. But then I still wasn't getting my periods, and then my doctor put me on Diane, the pill. And I remember taking it for a month, and it made me extremely nervous and anxious and just not feeling like myself. And I didn't pick up that it was the pill, and I went into like a little shell, and I felt like the walls were closing in. I was going through a really, really rough time until the one day I forgot my pill at home, and I was feeling a little bit better than myself. And then the next day I thought, well, I'm not going to take the pill again because I've missed it. I might as well just, you know, skip for 7 days and have a period. And I remember feeling like a brand new person, and then it clicked, and I'm like, oh my goodness, this pill is actually giving me anxiety. So I stopped taking the pill, and I'm like, well, I still need to sort out the reason, you know, why I'm not getting my hormone, and that, I mean my hormone, why I'm not getting my period and that whole sort of thing. So I started to read Laura's book. And basically she explains how your period each month is your report card, and how you get your period, like meaning like the symptoms, the flow, the consistency, all those little things, how it tells you things about your body. So that was super interesting to me, and that the fact that if you're missing a period, these are the sort of things you need to look at. And I started to read that, and obviously one of the things were polycystic syndrome, which is what I have. And so she had all these things that, you know, that you could do to help, you know, bring on the period and that sort of thing. And when I went back to my doctor about the Diane, she wanted to put me on another pill, and I just didn't want to go back on the pill because I don't believe in the pill, and I'm going to tell you why now, because of what I've read in the book. And so I thought, okay, no, I need to find a natural way how to fix this polycystic syndrome. And so I started to read Laura's book, and she was basically saying how the pill is a synthetic hormone that you're putting into your body that replaces your normal hormones, type of thing, if that makes sense. And when you go through the cycle of the pill and you get to the 7-day break of when you take the little sugar tablets, or you stop taking it to have a period, that period is not actually a real period, because it's not your body ovulating, because you can't ovulate on the pill because it prevents that. So basically, when you bleed on the pill, it's your body bleeding from withdrawals from taking the pill. So how insane is that? Your body is actually bleeding because it's withdrawing that little pill that you take. So that for me already was too much to read that. It totally freaked me out, because I'm like, well, I don't want my body to be bleeding because it needs, you know, a pill. That's not a real hormone or a proper thing that your body should be, you know, going through. And so that already freaked me out. So I was like, okay, well, thank God I've already stopped the pill, because that's not normal. Not only does it cause cellulite, the pill, it increases your water retention, obviously your risks of having like a blood clot and all that sort of thing. And the fact that there's not enough research about the pill going around the world, that it's just a quick fix that doctors are handing out to girls to use, because, you know, it just solves skin problems, it solves irregular periods, it solves this, solves that, but it's not solving anything. If anything, it's suppressing your hormones. So when you stop taking the pill, all shit will hit the fan, and it's back to square one. So you can't be on the pill for your whole life anyway. So might as well find a natural way to sort out whether it's your skin that's giving you a problem, whether it's a hormone imbalance, whether it's because you don't want to fall pregnant. Well, then, you know, control yourself, use a different type of contraceptive. But the pill is just really, really not good for you. And this book really taught me a lot. I went on a lot of the natural things she said for women to take, and the number one supplement she was saying that all women should be on is magnesium, because it's excellent for period cramping, for regular flow, for hormone balances, for all those sort of things. It's just a number one supplement that's so good for women. So I got into magnesium and zinc to help with my skin, because that was another reason I was on the pill, was for my skin. The zinc helped my skin a whole lot than the pill ever did. And yeah, and all those sort of things. And if you're worried about coming off the pill, there's a whole section in the book where she explains how to come off it easily, and you know, how to like prevent the other things that are going to happen when you come off the pill, and that by stopping the pill now, you're saving yourself all the trouble when you're older, because your hormones are going to be so suppressed and so mixed up that you might even hit menopause at a younger age than getting your normal cycle of menopause at a later stage, because your hormones are so suppressed and mixed up that it'll take forever for them to like get the cycle back and become normal again. So that's what I learned about like her book and hormones and all that sort of thing. So she's got a lot more information in there. Obviously I can't think of it all on the top of my head, but every page I was like, oh my gosh, oh my goodness, oh my word, that's so interesting. So, and I'm not a big like reader or researcher or like you know, like reading all complicated things, but her book was so interesting and so like relevant, and her facts were so proven like by every little point that she knows exactly what she's talking about. So if you're lost about hormones in your body and thyroid problems and all that sort of thing, I highly recommend you download this book. It's called the Period Manual, Repair Manual, by Lara. So that's awesome. I will put it in my little description box below if you still can't find it. But yeah, so back to the anxiety thing. I haven't experienced anxiety at all, and I noticed that certain things used to trigger off my anxiety. So a lot of people go straight to the doctor and they get diagnosed with anxiety, but for me, anxiety does not exist. Like it's not a real syndrome or diagnosis that you can have. Like for me, I personally think that it's too quick to give an antidepressant to people, but you need to find the root of it, and most of the times it's a hormone imbalance in your mind. So if your hormones are not balanced, your mind is like, whoa, like it starts freaking out. It's like, I don't know what to do, because one level's higher than the other of estrogen or testosterone or like whatever, doesn't know what to do with itself. So it's so important to have level hormones. So if you're having like a serious anxiety problem where you get nervous for absolutely no reason, I would definitely go get your hormones checked and see if maybe you're missing a hormone, because by fixing that hormone that you're missing, whether it's taking something natural or it's a supplement or a vitamin B that you're lacking, it'll make all the world difference, because it'll take your anxiety right away, instead of going on an antidepressant that's going to help you and then you're stuck in it forever, or you stop taking it and then the same shit just happens again. So I highly recommend checking hormone balances, and if you're lacking vitamin B, D or magnesium, because those are the number one triggers when you're lacking in your body that cause anxiety. So that's what I figured out. Like I was lacking a bit of vitamin B, and my hormones were super, like I was super high in testosterone compared to like my other hormones. So I had a bit like a huge imbalance, so that was causing like a lot of my anxiety. So I got that under control with a lot of the natural remedies I read in Laura's book. And then I noticed like when I was eating like breads or like very high sugar foods and that sort of thing, that made me extremely anxious as well. So if you feel like you're super anxious and you don't know what it is, try cut out sugar and see if that makes a difference as well. And then another thing is alcohol. Tequila and vodka are like the biggest triggers that cause an anxiety attack. Like whether you've had it like a night before and you start feeling anxious a week later, so it can actually imbalance your body that much. If you don't believe me, you're welcome to go research. But I always found, especially the one night where I went out and I remember I think it was a Red Bull and vodka, I woke up the next morning so ill, not a hangover or because I was vomiting because I had drank too much, because my stomach was so raw and I felt so nervous and anxious. And then I realized that it was the tequila and the vodka, because when I had it another time when I was out, I started to feel very like jittery and uncomfortable. So if you do suffer like get easily anxious or nervous, I highly recommend that you don't drink those sort of things, because they do imbalance your mind and suppress your feelings, so your body like freaks out. So that's its natural way of protecting itself, is anxiety. So if you want to go out and have a drink, I normally just stick to gin and tonic. I absolutely love it. It does nothing to me. It's a nice refreshing drink. It's very plain, and gin's actually quite good for you to clean out the system. So that's not gonna like give you any anxiety or nervousness. So you need to find what works for you. So before going to the doctor, just being like, I need an antidepressant, I'm totally freaking out, I've got anxiety. You know, you don't have anxiety. Anxiety doesn't exist. You've got an imbalance in your mind, and that's irritating your body. Okay, if you're anxious about a date or something, fine, that's a whole different anxiety. I'm talking about anxiety that just comes from nowhere, like you've got nothing to be anxious about. So try those things that I've spoken about. See what you're eating, change your diet, and go get like your hormones checked, or if you're lacking any vitamins. And sometimes just a simple supplement like magnesium can make the hell of a difference. So I take my magnesium at nighttime because it's such a muscle relaxant, and it just relaxes and calms everything and actually eases the neurons in your mind, so you feel so relaxed and you have the best night's sleep as well. So don't take it in the mornings, you'll feel very, very sleepy. But yeah, please go check out that book if you are stuck with women problems, hormones, you don't understand what that discharge color means, or what your period means like that, or if it's missing, what to do, if you've got a thyroid problem, how to speak to your doctor, if you're like nervous in front of your doctor, if they go, no, I'm going to put you on the pill, how to say no, but I've read, no, so you've got your facts, so you don't feel like you're going in with like, you don't know what to say to them and they're just going to give you the pill. So that book helps you as well, how to speak to your doctor. But yeah, I highly recommend get a blood test if you do struggle with your hormones and your periods and anxiety. And you never know, it might just be something that you're lacking that's so easy to fix. That's such a quick fix that'll help you maybe for years and years to come. And yeah, stop taking the pill, so bad for you. I'm telling you now that there's going to be breaking news that the research for the pill is so bad for you that you need to stop taking it. So I'm just doing like a pre-warning, if that makes any sense. But yeah, so I just wanted to do something different on my channel. I hope that you guys enjoyed my little rant or my little advice giving moment. But yeah, I just feel like a lot of girls just don't know how to chat about these things. So if my video can help one person, 0 people, 3 people, 5 people, I'll be so happy, because I was so happy when I found this book. It made a world of a difference, and I feel like an absolutely new person, and I feel like I can live properly without, you know, taking an antidepressant that just makes me not myself, you know. But yeah, so thanks guys for watching, and I will definitely see you in my next video. I don't know what I'll be doing just yet, either some new makeup that I've bought, or another little chit chat. But yeah, I hope everybody has an amazing Christmas if I don't get another video out, and I hope that the new year will bring you lots of love and light. Thanks for watching guys.